Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all well and having a really good day so far. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Emma and I make beauty and lifestyle videos here on YouTube. Today's video is a full face of makeup that I've been loving right now. So if you'd like to see how I achieve this look, grab yourself a drink, subscribe if you haven't already, and keep on watching. I'm going to start by prepping the skin with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. And this is just going to hydrate the skin and give a really nice base for the foundation. It just feels really nice and luxurious, and you can see that it's soaked into the skin very easily. For foundation today I'm using the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear, and this is in the shade Mont Blanc. I'm going to be applying that to my face using this beauty sponge from Real Techniques. I really like the texture of this foundation, and I think that it has a medium to full buildable coverage. But I really like how this formula just sits on the skin because it gives you that coverage but it still looks skin-like. And you can see that it's covering the redness on my cheeks really well and just evening out my skin tone. For concealer I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy in the shade Vanilla, and this is a really lovely concealer. It gives me full coverage but the formula doesn't make it look cakey, especially under the eye. And I'm also taking that up onto the eyelid as well to prime my eye for eyeshadow. And I'm also going to apply the concealer to the areas where I feel I need that little bit extra coverage. And just blending that out with the same beauty blender as I applied the foundation with. And I'm setting all of the base makeup with the Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. If you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that this is one of my very favourite powders. So I'm just taking a bit of the powder onto a fluffy brush just to set the concealer on the eyelid. And I'm also going to use it to set around the nose as well, just because I can get a little bit oily here in the day and some of these bits are harder to reach with a bigger brush. So setting under the eyes just to help the concealer to prevent from creasing. You're not going to stop that entirely, but by setting it, it certainly helps. And then a light dusting everywhere else on the face just to take away any tackiness. You don't want products like bronzer or blush to grab because that can look a bit patchy then. We want a nice smooth application for all of the base products. For bronzer I'm using the Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Bronzer, and this is in the shade Bronze 2. This is an absolutely stunning bronzer and I think it's quite underrated in my opinion. Everybody speaks about the translucent setting powder and also the concealer, but this is definitely a product worth checking out from Mercier. And I'm just applying that to the high points of the face using this E4 brush from Morphe. But this is a really lovely shade if you have a fair complexion like mine. I tend to favour bronzers that have more of a golden undertone as opposed to a red. It just gives that sort of natural sun-kissed appearance. So a little bit to the nose, and I also like to put tiny bit on the eyelids just so you've got that consistency throughout the face. For brows today I'm using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and this is in the shade 3. This is one of my very favourite brow products. I just love how small the pencil is and you can really get those hair-like strokes. So first of all I just like to give the brows a brush through with the spoolie. You can see that my eyebrows are naturally quite blonde, so I prefer to darken them up a couple of shades just so they match the roots of my hair. So first of all, I like to start underneath the brow and just make small strokes. And I'm also going to do that on the other side. I do think it's easier to do both brows together rather than doing one and then try to get the other one to match it. So again, just very small strokes under the brow to get that definition. And then I also like to start to define the tail of the brow. Again, using quite small strokes. You can always add more. It's a lot easier to do that than applying too much product. And you can even this up as you go along. I then like to draw the top of the brow again, just to define the shape and join that up with the tail. And I'm just going to build this one up a little bit more. And finally I'm just going to fill them in just with small hair-like strokes. But I'm staying away from the start of the brow. And then just use the spoolie to keep brushing that product through, and you can double check that it's evenly distributed throughout your brow. I'm then going to use the Benefit Gimme Brow in shade 3 and I'm just going to brush that through the brow. It's going to give a little bit more texture because it is a coloured brow gel. And this will also help just define the hairs a little bit more at the start of the brow. For eyes today, I'm using this eye colour quad from Tom Ford, and this is in the shade Nude Dip. I'm going to take this pinky shade here and I'm just going to apply that all over the lid. I'll just zoom you in so you can see a little bit closer. And I'm just applying that all over the lid. And I just want a really soft wash of colour all over. And I'm just softening out the edges with the fluffy brush that we applied the powder with. To add some more definition to the eye, I'm then going to take this shade here into the crease. And I'm just applying that to the crease and the outer corner. I'm using these eyeshadows dry today just because I want to have quite a soft eye look. If you prefer a more intense look though, you could absolutely dampen your brush before applying the shadow. And you can keep going back in with that first fluffy brush just to blend out any edges. We do want to keep the eyes quite soft. I'm then using this darkest shade just to add some depth into the very outer corner. And I'm also going to take that under the lower lash line. Lastly, I'm going to take the lightest shade in the pan just to brighten the inner corner of the eye. And I'm just applying that using my finger. For eyeliners today, I'll be using the Huda Beauty Life Liner and I'll be using the liquid side. I just want to do a very thin winged liner, nothing too dramatic. So I'm just keeping the liner very close to the lash line. That's liquid liner now applied. For mascara, I'm using the NARS Climax. Because I'm applying lashes today, I'm not going to bother curling my natural lashes. If I wasn't wearing them though, I would definitely curl my lashes first. So I'm just going to apply one coat of mascara. I've just jumped off camera and applied some false lashes, and I think that has finished the eye look off perfectly. These are the Eyeliner 008 Fluttery Light 3/4 lashes, and for me these are my perfect everyday lash. They just give that bit more volume and length but still look fairly natural. Because the eye look is cool toned, I also want to keep the lips and cheeks cool toned as well, so the whole look ties in together. For lips I'm using the MAC lip liner in the shade Dervish, and this is a really beautiful pinky nude. That's the lip liner I applied, and for lipstick today I'm using MAC in the shade Modesty. And I'm going to top that off with the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Baby Brut. I really love this gloss bomb formula. I think Fenty actually make some of the best lip glosses on the market. For cheeks I'm using the NARS Orgasm X palette, and I'm just taking the centre shade, which is Orgasm. And I'm just applying that to the cheek to give a pretty flush of colour, and I like to keep the blush quite high. And I also like just to go over that with my powder brush, just to blend the blush and the bronzer together. Lastly, to finish off the look, I'm just going to highlight using the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in Soft and Gentle. And this is a really old favourite of mine, but it's still an absolutely gorgeous highlighter. And I almost forgot, but I am going to set the face using this Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. So guys, this is the finished makeup look. Really wearable, cool toned look. I think that it makes a nice change for me to go for cool tones rather than the warm neutrals that I wear such a lot. The standout product for me from the video is the Tom Ford Nude Dip Quad. It's an absolutely gorgeous palette, and I would like to experiment with it a little bit more, try some different looks, and definitely try using these formulas with a damp brush. That's everything for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because I would love to have you back. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll see you on my next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.